My name is Juan Morieno. I'm a professor of education at the National Open University in Madrid, in Spain. Previously, for 20 years, I was working with the World Bank on education projects, and the last 5 years working with the Ministry of Education here in Morocco. So I have been invited to talk about teachers, to talk about teacher policies, and to give some evidence on why teachers are so important and why it is necessary to have a new wave of teacher policies and teacher policy reform. One of the key messages that I have tried to convey is that nowadays all over the world, teaching has stopped being just a job and is increasingly becoming a profession. And the difference between a job and a profession, everybody can understand. Right? One of them is that when you have a job, you're looking at the clock all the time to see how much is there until you can get out. When you have a profession, you don't look at the clock. You never have time. When you have a job, you don't care about what your peers think about your work. But when you have a profession, the single most important thing in your professional life is earning the respect of your peers, of your equals. So this is what I mean when I say, or when we say, that the number one challenge for education systems all over the world is to build a solid, a true teaching profession, and then in doing so, to build public trust on teachers. The Ministry of Education and the leaders in the Ministry of Education in Morocco are aware of all these, and they do have a vision for the future, how this process needs to go over the next few years. So for instance, there is going to be a very critical strategic reform in the way new teachers are selected. So instead of the traditional focus on the subject matter only, the new recruitment system or selection system, the concours, is going to be looking at other professional and personal competences which are said to be indispensable for teachers. We're talking about personal motivation, professional commitment, capacity to empathize, and some others that have to do with socio-emotional skills of the new teachers. There is also a vision for the profession with a continuum that goes from the formación inicial to the formación continue, and in between the induction into the profession, so that there is a continuum, a whole picture of how teacher professional development needs to be handled, and needs to be designed, and needs to be financed all the way from initial training or pre-service or formación inicial to professional development and in between. And there is more and more, a third thing is more and more resources being invested on creating communities of practice, professional learning communities within schools, so that they can identify innovations and they can mobilize their own energy and resources to do new things and to try and to try new things and to I insist, mobilize their own professional energy. That's the only way for progress.